good season of outdoor events to go to and family, and most of them are free. The majority in New Jersey, anyways, I think all of them are free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of them are.
yeah. I think only in some of the parts of New York City where they have restrictions for those events.
And a lot of those are free too. A lot of
Yeah,
those
I
are
don't
free.
know. You can
And
go to school like
no lie, you know, I believe home. Just New York, we having the loudest act. We having the loudest act.
yeah, they got one trip. They got they
Take from the jerz, right?
I can feel inside your soul. Oh, you leave me like wanting more. I can feel inside your soul. Oh, you leave me like wanting more. Somebody say that the sex is so amazing, or a kiss can make the feeling begin.
Bridge.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your man DVS Ahmad coming to you on another DVS Friday. This is Speak for Yourself Friday right here on DVS Friday, and y'all know how it goes down. Now, tonight we have a topic that we're going to talk about, and the number to call in is 973-900-6453. Again, the number is 973-900-6453. I want to hear y'all tonight on this topic. I want to know what y'all think about this topic because it's prevalent in most of our communities. So it's something that we need to take a look at, something that we need to address, something that we need to be aware of when it comes to family and family planning. So, real quick, for those of you who are on Ustream and GS Radio North, I want to let y'all know the same thing that I was telling to everybody on Facebook. Tonight at Club Elevation, I will be hosting AM Flow, the party, up at Club Elevation, 1425 Springfield Avenue in Irvington, New Jersey. Come on by tonight. It's going to be, we're celebrating the birthday of Renee Riley, one of the hostesses of AM Flow, of the Flow party. I got to stop AM Flow because that's the record label. So we going to be doing that tonight. Tomorrow night is Humble Beginnings, 30 Maple Avenue in Montclair, New Jersey. $20, all you can eat, all you can drink. Next weekend, DJ Punch will be at Club Elevation next Saturday. That is the baby powder party that I host there once a month. So we got some stuff for you. So come on out. Now, tonight, the topic that we will be discussing. Oh, let me introduce. I forgot to introduce my guest. Some of you know him, and if this is your first time seeing him, this is my dude from way back. We go back like car seats. My man, brook jerz.
Yeah, well, you already
Yes,
know
sir.
what's up.
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, man. Listen, glad to be here with you.
Always a
GS
pleasure.
Radio North. You already know what it is, man. Let's get it in.
Yes. So tonight we're going to be discussing single parent households. Can a woman raise a man? Raise a boy to be a man? Can a single parent that's a man, can he raise a girl to be a woman? What you say, Brooke?
I would say yes and yes. It takes an extraordinary individual to be able to do such, though. And unfortunately, you know, through our life walk as minorities, we not equipped to do that as much as we should.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna say that it's capable. There's cases of it. You know what I'm saying?
Much so.
So you know, you can't say that it's impossible.
Right. Now, I was reading, just for those of you who pay attention to statistics and things of that nature, I read that there are between 12 and 13.2 million families in the United States that are single parent families. Of those families, I think it's about 83%, 83% are women, are households that are headed by women. Only the rest of the 17 and 15% are, households that are single parent, with the male being the figurehead in the house. And a lot of people believe that it's impossible for a woman. And I've heard this. I've heard friends say this. I've heard family say this. I've heard coworkers say this. I've heard, so many different people say a woman can't raise a man. That's something. Have you ever heard them say that?
Yeah, and it's true to a circumstance, but like I said, there's cases where, a woman has done the job of both parents.
Bring your mic down so you're not.
It's been cases of that. So,
now some people say there is a high liability of and particularly because women are the predominant figureheads in single parent households. It is said that if a woman is raising a male child, that she often turns to him as not the other parent in the house, but the man of the house, which isn't his place.
And again, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times that has happened, and a lot of times it has not. What the people that do studies and everything choose to focus on is the negative. They don't necessarily pay attention to the anomalies of situations. So I'm not gonna say that they do turn to them necessarily, because it depends on every woman. You know what I'm saying? And every dynamic is different.
Right.
A lot of times people get caught up in statistics like that's real life. And a lot of times when you talk to men that have been raised by women like myself, you know what I'm saying? It was times where they couldn't teach me nothing, and I had to learn on my own. So being raised by a woman, yeah, it can happen, but it only goes but so far. You know what I'm saying? Because if a male child wants to go seek for himself, he's gonna seek those male role models or that male energy in other ways, crime, sports, academics, and other things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it can be done. Women can raise men. You know what I'm saying? Men can raise girls. You know what I'm saying? And when they want to know about femininity and everything, they already know innately. They can't learn from their daddy. You know what I'm saying? So he'll raise them to a certain point. And when they want to know things, because, listen, it'll be kind of weird. I'm quite sure it has happened. But, a daughter won't, when she get her first period, she's not going to go to daddy and be like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like if mommy's not there no more, dead or strung out on drugs or whatever, she's not going to, you know what I'm saying? It'll be the school nurse, a cool teacher, a best friend. You know what I'm saying? A friend's mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cousin.
That feminine energy, when it's something that I don't want to talk to my daddy about this, or daddy just won't do. That'll override and supersede, because it's an innate human trait.
To need somebody to identify with.
That's right.
In terms of whatever's going on with you.
That's right.
Okay. Now, for those of you who have been watching Facebook, bring you up to speed on who the second personality that's sitting right here. This is the best advocate for Dr. Umar Johnson that we have. ever.
The breeder. Shout out to my boy Lachey. You know what I mean? You already know what it is. You know what I mean? The breeder. You know what I mean? We represent the Breeders'
man, I
Cup.
wish Lachey was here right now.
It's so official. Shout out to my girl Just Joy Media. You
Word.
already know. Megastar Radio. We in the building.
Boom.
Brook Jerz.
Yes, sir.
Chilling with the voice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
So, Dr. Umar Johnson, I was looking at a video, just a snippet of the entire
See
video.
you jumping, man.
What? No, I'm getting ready to bring it up to what we're talking about.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this a smooth transition.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about young men that, if they're in a single parent household, it's a woman in the house, the young men often seek, identification. And what he was talking about is that identification, just like you said, it can go in a direction like a woman, the parent, male or female, has to steer the child in a direction when it comes to that child finding role models who are the same sex. Because if not, the child will seek out identification and it will end up in places that might not be in the best interest. A lot of people go through, single parent, there's a mother in the house, there's a young man in the house, maybe he's the oldest out of all the children if there are more children, and he feels like he now has to provide because people have told him you are the quote unquote man of the house. So what happens? He goes out and sees other young men outside standing on the corner. What y'all doing? We making money. I need that. All right, I'm going to show you how to get it. Next thing you know, he's either selling drugs. He might be a part of a gang. I'm not saying that that's the primary thing. That's just one example. Like you also said, it could be a young man who might see a role model in the chess club at school. So he takes up chess or he takes up debate. But I think it's the parent's job to make sure that the people that your kids are emulating and identifying with are positive. You must at least find out that who is your kid hanging with, who's influencing your kid when you're not around. I think that's something that I don't think a lot of parents pay attention to. A lot of parents, when they send their kids to school, their kids come home and say different things, and they're like, "Wait a minute, we don't say that in our house. Where did you get that from? Your kids are out of your sight for 1/3 of the day. Your kids aren't with you for 1/3 of the day. Who do you think is influencing them at that point?"
Yeah, I mean, parents, it's no perfect way to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? And kids are sponges. So
Yeah.
it's all a matter of what you choose to wipe them up with. They can only absorb whatever you put in their way. You know what I'm saying? Of course, out of that 1/3 of the day, that's the outside influence.
Mm-hmm.
But once they come back to the nest, you know what I'm saying? Until they can leave the nest on their own, you still guiding them legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're shaky up until a certain point. You know what I'm saying? And certain kids that take longer than others. You know what I mean? But it's all up to what you choose to wipe your sponge up with. You know what I mean? Because they're sponges, and they're gonna show you. They're gonna show you what they know, and you're gonna show them the right way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never stop preaching.
Mm-hmm.
I call it preaching because after a while they don't want to hear from you know what I mean. So I'll never stop preaching. It's just it's my right. You know what I'm saying? From the moment they open their eyes, you know what I'm saying? It's my right that I'm a preach.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna hear what they want. So what I tell my kids is, if I say something that's good, use it. If you can use it but you don't need it now, put it away.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be afraid to pull it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't be afraid to pull it out and use it. It's the difference between winning and losing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of parents, I just think that they don't talk to the kids about the same things that their parents used to talk to them about, like that little voice. You know what I'm saying? That little voice, and the little voice is going off like a mile a minute right now because there's danger everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As to where, if you 40 and over or 30 and over or whatever, that little voice, you knew when that little voice came on, because those real mixed to action situations came far and few in between. So you knew when something wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
But now, the temptation is every day. So, what was like, our alarms was going off 20 years ago, like, or 20, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, like, what's, you know what I mean? Yeah, they just over there doing that, so it's a lot different.
Very.
We definitely need to snap out of the fact that, that it's the same, just modified. No, it's very different.
Yeah, these kids.
It's very different. They're wired different. They're coming out different.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And
we have one of the guys who's watching the show, Musa Smith. Shout out to him. He says it's a complicated question for me. Being in the service, I see kids coming in from all walks of life. Some have issues, some don't. I can tell you, some of these kids are looking for guidance. Mm-hmm. So if they're not getting it at home, they're going to go out into the world and seek it.
Mm-hmm.
Not just identification, but listen to what the man said. Guidance.
Yeah.
That means that whatever's happening in the home isn't effective enough for the kids.
Meaning that, you know what I'm saying, home left their head open. You know what I'm saying? That's all it means, is that home left their head open. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and
what is that?
Meaning that you didn't get who you were at home. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You didn't have your sense of identity, your primary, good or bad, your primary sense of self comes from home and your environment. Mm-hmm. So now, if you tune out home because home isn't where the heart is, or you're just not listening because you don't identify with it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you're outside, but you still don't identify. Mm-hmm. Your head is open. You know what I'm saying? So as a person, if you still seek structure, then you'll go into the military. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you, in the inside, you know that you need some kind of structure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what I'm talking about right now is innate human traits and people that listen to themselves. Like, people that supremely listen to themselves, they get categorized as weird. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, those often end up being the innovators of everything that we take advantage of.
Absolutely.
The Einsteins, mm-hmm. the Jimi Hendrix. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are born with something special. They're born with something unique. But I feel like society as a whole isn't harnessing that. Mm. We not harnessing that in schools. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we not harnessing that at home. Mm. You know what I mean? These kids are very different.
Yeah.
They're very different. And for the fact that, they have so much information at their fingertips, it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? It's a gift and a curse.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and finish your thought, though.
That's what I feel out. Come on, we talking. So
yeah.
We talking. So speak on it.
I'm glad you brought up the technology when it comes to children. I'm divided. Just like Brook Jerz said, the kids today have access to more information than we did at such a young age. People hand kids devices that if they aren't put, if they don't put safeguards, these kids can be exposed to so many different things their parents never dreamed they could be exposed to. And a lot of people sit their kids in front of these devices for 3-4 hours a day. They let the kids play video games. They're on a computer doing God knows what, watching videos on YouTube. If there aren't parental controls or there isn't parental monitoring of what the kids are viewing, it's a very dangerous situation. Beyond that, I have this it's my thought that because kids have so much information that it's paralytic when it comes to them deciding what it is they want to do in life. it's very hard to decide when you have 1,000 choices. When I was a kid, you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, you want to be a
fireman,
a policeman. You want to be, it was kind of simple. I mean, there were, of course, variations in between, but there were very definitive things and tangible things that we thought we could attain. We could attain these careers. When you put 1,000 different interests in front of a kid, and you say, well, which one do you like the most? Well, I like about 732 of them the most. Okay, well, which one are you good at? Oh, well, I'm good at about 326. You still haven't narrowed it down. And then we send kids to what we call institutions of higher learning. And the first thing, because education isn't free in this country for some odd reason, I still don't understand that. But we send them to school, and the first thing they do is pick something that they're not sure about, and they invest 4 years of their lives in it, and they come out and they can't find a job in it, but they have debt. Now you've saddled your kids with $30,000 to $100,000 in debt on something that they're not even sure that they want to do, because when it came time to make the decision, they were still a kid. They were still finding out what it is they like, what they want to do, how this works, how that works. And if they didn't have any guidance by the time they reached the university level, when they get there, who knows what's going to happen? There are some kids who get to college, they see how it's structured, and they excel. There are other kids who get to college and crack under the pressure. There are other kids who get to college and find out where the party's at. And y'all, anybody who's been to college, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You find out where the party's at. Once you do that, it's over. So
forget
back
about the
to
drum line, huh? Forget about the drum line, huh?
Listen. It's real. It's really real. So what I say all that to say this: we must be a lot more responsible when it comes to the technology that you set in front of your kids. Beyond that, you said something else. When your kids come home, like we said earlier, for a third of the day, they're out of your sight. When they do come into your sight, how many of you sit down with your kids and ask them, what did you learn today? Who did you see today? Who did you encounter? What conversations did you have today? What is your homework? Do you understand your homework? Do you need help with your homework? How many are there? A lot of 973-900-6453. Let me know. Is there who does this? Because I don't believe that it's as many parents as there's some parents who check in every now and then and they think they're doing a good job. You can do better.
Listen, I'm gonna say it again. Especially in our communities, there's no perfect way to be a parent. It is so many obstacles that's put in our way from being good parents for those that do want to be good parents. Mm-hmm. Again, it is no excuse.
Somebody with Musa was trying to call in.
I just wanna say this. I just want to say this. What we have to do, is raise our kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Is raise our kids. And, like raising them the way you was raised. Mm-hmm. What we have done, I believe, is let, the laws, take us from raising our kids because everybody don't want to go to court, whatever, and it's an intimidation factor. So man or woman, if you have a point to stand on, stand on your point. and bring some levity to the situation, because it's about making sure that the kids is level. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You can't be afraid to do that. You know, a lot of parents is afraid to step up in ways, because a lot of parents go to school because they're late, because their work schedules is late, so their kids is late. You know, and there's penalties behind that. You know what I'm saying? It's penalties behind that. You know, but the way we being forced to live is a factor or whatever. You know, you could try not to let it be a factor, but for the circumstance, it is. And you know, get into the root of it. You know, yes, a man could raise his daughter to a certain point, because you can only teach her about men. You can't teach her about being a woman. She's always gonna seek that. Yes, a woman can raise a boy to be a man, but when he wants to learn about who he is and exert his power, he can't do that against his mother. That's sacrilege. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he doesn't manifest that on society, but at the same time, he's gonna seek that male energy. He's gonna seek that want and acceptance from other men of his peer. That's just being human.
Now,
You know, you know, a lot of what we allow westernization to do is strip away our sense of being human. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, you know, if we talking about our walk as Africans or African Americans or whatever you feel is politically correct to those of you that's watching at home and around the world and everything, if you allow, you know what I'm saying, westernization to strip you of who you are and knowing your innate things that's right, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not talking nothing that's biblical, or I'm not saying anything that's I'm shouting off the rooftops. I'm talking about being who we are, being who we've always been. You know what I'm saying? And not letting the confines of where we're at stop us from doing innately what's right for the preservation of our babies. You know what I'm saying? You know, listen, that's how I feel. I'm speaking for Brook Jerz. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to the boss. Shouts to Just Joy. Shouts to Lachey. The breeder, we in the building. You know what I'm saying? Word up. This is what we do, man. GS Radio Nork. You know what I mean? I'm chilling with the voice.
Word.
But you know, I'm just talking off of being human, and don't let the laws of society strip you from being human when it comes to raising your kids. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it strip them from letting you teach them harsh lessons about life. You know, don't let it strip them of not having. You know what I mean? Like the other night. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not rich. You know,
none of us are.
I'm rich in spirit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say I like to make being broke look good, right? I know a lot about a little bit. I'm one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Word up. Don't try to play me though, because then you'll play yourself, right? Who's talking, me or you? Nah, I'm just bugging, right? You know, the other night during a storm, the power went out. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them people, you know what I'm saying? I was one of them kids raised, you know what I'm saying, when the power went out. Or even when we just didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? It was still 6 or 7 people in the house, and everybody had to eat. You know what I'm saying? And it was only a couple of provisions in the house. Maybe a can of tuna fish or a can of corned beef or whatever. You know what I mean? A head of cabbage or whatever. Half a bag of rice. But everybody ate. You know what I'm saying? I say that to say this. You know what I'm saying? The other day we had the nor'easter or whatever, and the power went out, and you know, I was at my mom's crib or whatever, you know, and you know, it was like 5 of us in there. You know what I'm saying? No power, whatever. She came down, my step pops or whatever, and you know, 1 can of corned beef, couple plantain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Half a bag of rice,
Mm-hmm.
some salad. That was already, because you know you can't open and close. Once the power go out, you only got so many times you can open and close the fridge.
That's right.
Before the shit go out.
Yep.
So real talk, if you don't have power right now, don't be going in and out of your fridge all crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have power right now, don't be going in and out of your fridge all crazy because you fucking your shit up, right? You know, get what you need, snatch it all out, make it, everybody live, right? Bong. Yo, you know, my parents made that food and that food was good to the soul.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to the soul. Why? Because we didn't have no power. They still lit the stove.
Mm-hmm.
They still lit candles in every room. Every room smelled like something different. Like, so one room was candy, one room was cherry mint, one room was bongo franchise and everything. So it was like all different smells going through the house. But the good thing about it was, you know what I'm saying, we had a warm meal with no power. You understand what I'm saying? We went to bed. The power was on the next day. So shout outs to the electric company and everybody who don't have power. Hold your head, you know. I don't want to sound conceited, but I'm talking about the humbleness of the situation.
Mm.
The humbleness of the situation was that everybody eat and everybody came together. Now everybody be off living a normal life. Everybody be off, you know what I'm saying, even in the same room on a cell phone and this and that. But because we didn't have no power for that moment in time, everybody was conscious of their cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was about chilling with the person that was in the room with them. Mm-hmm. The interaction was animated because of those simple facts. You know what I'm saying? So what, like I say again, you know what I'm saying? It can be done. You know what I'm saying? It can be done because my mom's raised me the same way to be able to feed 5 people with little or nothing. And I could do that with little or nothing. Because it's not about how much you have. It's about you eating on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? It's about you being able to have nourishment when you don't see nourishment. You know what I'm saying? It's about you being able to eat little or nothing and still feel full because you had something in your stomach and you had the camaraderie around people that love you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to teach our kids. And that's what we losing. And that's what we don't send them to school with, that humbleness, that respect factor that we grew up with, we letting the times that we live in make our situation a lawless town at home. And we can't make it a lawless town at home no matter what situation we living in, no matter what we see on TV. You understand what I'm saying? No matter what we put up in the world, we're supposed to prepare our kids for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's something else that Dr. Umar said in regard to single parents. And we have a caller, so I'm a pause. I'm gonna pause for a second and see if this is somebody who wants to come on the air. Oh, we have a caller. Okay. While they're setting up the call, Dr. Umar, another thing that he said, and you know what? I think I might post this video later, just so that you guys know what I'm talking about. There was, there was another segment where he talked about if there is a female parent as the head of the household and she is raising male children, that there is a danger of feminine energy being transferred basically to the male child. Basically, he's saying that there's a chance that women gonna raise gay men, and if it's a man that's the head of the household, that he might raise a lesbian daughter like that, like it's really a thing.
And see that's what I'm talking about, where that's what I'm talking about, where that fear and that phobia, it kind of collide. I was kind of preluding to that in my speech. You know what?
I'm with
What I want to say is that if your child goes to an alternative lifestyle, maybe it was in them, and maybe that dialogue should have been had in the talking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was there all along and you just didn't see it. But don't say that because a male is raised in a predominantly female household that's what it's about. Because maybe what I'm saying, those women are teaching that young man what women like. You know what I'm saying?
How about that?
Maybe that man is teaching his daughter, how to see a king and know him out of a crowd. You know what I'm saying?
He better be.
You have to be taking your situation as your situation.
I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick. I'm sorry. Whoever was on the phone, we lost the call. Oh, it's Musa. Musa, call back, brother. I apologize. Obviously, we were having a little difficulty, but I think we have it rectified now. So you can call back at 973-900-6453. Go ahead, Brooke.
We need to stop playing, and we need to stop playing the blame game. We need to start realizing, where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
As black people, we need to start realizing where it's at as black people, and on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? On all fronts. And the more honest we could be on this next leg of the journey, post Obama, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of the social experiment we call Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? We need to start being real with the story. You know what I'm saying? We really do, because
Yeah, we
you
do.
know what I'm saying? This is a great conversation, but it's a weak conversation. Why? Because, not saying that the topic isn't relevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a weak conversation because people don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weak conversation because people don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And anything that's taboo right now, that's plaguing black society as a whole, we need to put it on the forefront, because it's the same bullshit that keeps us back as a whole.
Now, I want to ask this question. I'm glad you said that, because I often get the feeling when I'm talking to people about topics such as this, that people, just like you said, people don't want to talk about it. It's like, we talked about that all the time, or ain't nothing gonna change. Like, we've fallen into the thinking that it's not gonna change, so we actually do nothing to change it, which is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. We keep telling ourselves nothing's gonna happen, so we don't do anything to make any change happen. It's not because change is impossible, it's because we aren't mobilized to do it. We have fallen into the thinking, which is something that is, y'all know, that's what the powers that be want. They want you docile. They don't want you to roar up against the hierarchy. That's not what they want. They want you home, making babies, watching TV, and smoking blunts. That's what they want. They want that whole situation, because that keeps you silent.
Oh, they getting that.
Yeah, they got it.
Because if they come out with loving in hip hop in another state,
Nick,
I'm trying to tell.
Listen,
They gonna be like loving hip hop in Spain.
loving
We
hip
gonna be
hop,
we watching it on Telemundo in Spanglish.
Crazy.
You
It
know.
is crazy. It is crazy. And I believe that it's like to anesthetize us to what is actually going on. So when we hear conversations that have to do with the community, conversations that have to do with family, conversations that have to do with upward mobility, conversations that have to do with urban entrenchment, conversations that have to do with mobilizing and gentrifying, conversations that have to do with solidarity, conversations that have to do with improvement. We tune it out. We tune it out. So we get stuck. Pay attention in the news to all of the kids who are walking out every 17 minutes in class because they're tired of it's not even that they're tired because they ain't even old enough to be as tired as we are, but they are scared. They're scared and they're terrified that because they're in school, there's going to be somebody who's going to come in and kill them.
And
That's Musa? Okay, we do have a caller. My man Musa. What's good, brother? Musa? Musa? Yeah, I can hear you now, brother. What's going on? Hello? Did the I'm sorry, Musa. I'm sorry, Musa.
well, brother, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to call back. Yo, DVS, what's the number,
Yeah,
bruh?
please. It's 973-900-6453. Don't be afraid to call it. I'm not. Oh, it's not. Dag nabbit. You know what? Then y'all gonna have to comment because I actually. Oh, what is the number? 973. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat too. 973-380-6715.
That's right.
And
She fine, y'all. Don't call after today.
yeah, this is Tanya Champagne's number. I put it in the chat. Don't call her. We'll call her after 9 tonight. What time is it? Yeah, well, 9:30. We'll give it, till we get out of here. I know Musa would say that this conversation is very important, and I think this conversation is very important. I think the kids we don't concentrate enough on the kids. I think there are many people who still operate in the system of kids should be seen and not heard by some standards, and these kids today aren't having it. They aren't having it. The legislators are going to have to pay attention to them because they're walking out and going to Washington and all sorts of things. They're not taking it. Now, I knew that we were going to tangent this conversation. It wasn't going to be the same thing that it began at the beginning of the show. So is that who's? All right, Musa. Musa, my brother, I thank you for sticking with us. I thank you for, keep trying. I appreciate that, Musa. Go ahead, brother. Musa. Is it on speaker? Yeah. There you go, brother. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. You live on Devious Fridays, brother. Mm-hmm. Yes. To leave it on the top like that. Yeah. There you go. Go ahead, Musa. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Wow. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's another anesthetic. Mm.
Like back in the day, I'm talking about olden days, I'm getting kind of carried away with it, but cats used to play the piano and sing for their family.
Right.
Now the kids got the Genesis, well, I just told my age, but now you got the kids with the PlayStation 4, they growing up in the room, you don't see nobody, you trying to eat, you watching some news, and you trying to go to bed because you got to, it's crazy,
It is.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It is.
So my technique of is, when I'm raising these kids, you have to, I'm not saying that you go to your kids and break them down and break their soul and spirit, but you gotta let them know who boss is. And you cannot, you can be chill with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
you can be, there's a line to where, there's a line to where you cannot be their friend.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Some
Yep.
things you gotta be able to keep a secret from your kid. Like you sit behind that, you sit behind a little liquor or doing what you gotta do. You can't see them, they can't see that. Because then they gonna think it's okay for them to do it. Well, it's not. Because they're not developed yet. The brain ain't there yet. They
Right.
have no responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you doing silliness, you gotta be responsible too.
Right.
So what, like every month, I have to sit down there and counsel these kids. What did you do this month? This is what you did. You did good at this. You did good at this. You did good at this. You stop pass on that. Get your shit together. Yeah, I'm starting to curse it. But you know, that's how you gotta tell them. You gotta let them know it's cold and dry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then you have them read it. You have them write it down. Like, hey, this is what I need to do for myself. It's called the plan of action. This is what I need to do for myself to fix myself. And then, the next month when you do it again, you have to close that counseling out from the last month and be like, this, I'm not saying you didn't do this with your kid, but I'm just talking, it's a nice guideline to talk. But then you close that prior month out saying, okay, this is where you did good. You were late to work all this week. Now you weren't at all this month, you know? And it's just like these kids have no discipline. You gotta give it to them. You gotta make, and I'm not trying to get racial with it, but, you know, we're all looking for an excuse not to be accountable. And I'm saying I feel it's just like us as a race, we're always looking for blame. Let's look at ourselves first.
Yes.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And it's kind of rough to say, but sometimes you gotta say some stuff, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
like, you know, I'm not trying to ride on that bandwagon, you know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Thank you, Musa. Thank you so much for calling, brother. All right, man. Yeah, and I thank you for calling. You said a lot. For those of you, I don't know if you guys, hopefully you were able to hear at least part of it. All right, Musa, thanks. Okay, there you go. Hopefully, you guys were able to hear at least some of the conversation from Musa. If not, you can hear it better on gsradionetwork.com if you want to hear the entire conversation. Basically, he talked about, when you have kids, you got to have a plan of action. He was talking about just, his experience in the military. And he was saying that the kids come in with so much, they just need guidance. Mm-hmm. You can't even get them to focus or do their task because they have their phones out, which is another anesthetic. And I'm not saying it like a judgment, because you see I got mine and I do use it, but I also know when to put it down. You understand? And that's something that kids may not know. They don't get that because that's the thing that's stimulating to them. But if the parents aren't.
But see that but see this is the thing now. You got to realize when I say that these kids are born different. Mm-hmm. Where we know how to self-soothe. You understand what I'm saying? Self-soothing for the new generation comes in the form of technology. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what's weird to us isn't weird to them. And we have to get them to realize how to live without it. And that was the overall theme. Like, you know what I'm saying? The other night, like I said, we didn't have no power. My mother ate. Mm-hmm. Everybody wasn't as focused on their cell phone because it wasn't no power, so you had to save that battery.
That's right. You got to save that battery life
for whatever you needed it for. So whoever was in the room with you that was chiming with you when you said something, mm-hmm. that was the conversation you was trying to have.
Word.
And we have to get these kids to realize that technology isn't everything, and that's our biggest job right now as parents. Mm-hmm. In this generation, in this day and age right now, is how to get our kids that's born with it. We give it to them. They're born with it already. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A 5-year-old, you could put a tablet in her hand. She's moving the screen, foofing. She putting up the game. Mm-hmm. She know how to go to YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's already on Egg Surprise and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's already there. They got it already. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it's in their DNA.
Our grandparents thought we was hot shit because we knew how to program the remote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
VCR.
We knew how to hook up the VCR and put the timer on and shit like that. Oh yeah, my baby's the new millennium. You know what I'm saying? And little did we know how we was gonna get kicked in our ass. You know what I mean? 20 years later.
Or not even.
Or not even. You know what I'm saying? Little did we know. You know what I'm saying? And, the biggest task of it is, because at the end of the day, it only went but so far back then. Everybody didn't have WHT. Everybody didn't have. You dig? That's where we at right there. That's for all the hardcore. You know what I'm saying?
Or Mecco Home Theater. Remember the WHT box that you could turn off the TV and the box still be going?
Yeah, dig.
Oh my God, that was so 70s.
So, everybody didn't have that.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody had that channel, right? But what I'm saying is, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, we literally as parents nowadays and coming up and everything have to figure out how we're gonna disarm our kids from the technology just for a moment. Mm-hmm. Just for a moment, to even have some contact and family time and bonding with us. Like,
right,
motherfucker, I made you. Nah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
so, excuse my language, but like, it's real.
It is. I forget where I got this from. I don't know if I read it or I saw it on TV. It was my cousin. He put it on Facebook. His kids, if they go out to eat, whoever picks up their phone first is the one who has to pay for the bill. So if you have a family, you sitting home watching, having dinner with your family, whoever picks up their phone first is the one who got to wash the dishes.
Yawa.
or clean the entire kitchen.
Yo, I could start that.
You know what I mean?
That's dope right there.
You know what I mean? I'm like, there's ways.
That's dope right there.
There are ways, but just because we have to get ready to, wrap this up, I just want to say, in regard to what we started off as, and I told you guys that we would be on a different something by the end of the show, and I love the way that the conversation has tangented into what it has. But it's a conversation that needs to continue in the home. It is something that you guys who have kids who are still school age, you got to start finding out what it is that your kids need. You got to start finding out what the other influences on your children are. You have to find out, what do I need to deprogram when my kid comes home and walks through the door. And for the single parents, you just got to pay attention. If you're a single parent with a same-sex child as you or the opposite sex child as you, they're little people, period. You know how to be a person, so at the bare minimum, teach them how to be a person, a good person. If you consider yourself a good person, then pass on all of your good person traits. It can be as simple as that. This isn't a new topic. There have been single mothers since the beginning, and it's not that they got divorced. Maybe the father died and the mother had to, whatever the case is, this is not a new topic. But it's the topic that, is real prevalent right now in our society. Very. But at one time, it wasn't. There were more people who were married with kids than there were single parents. So we have to pay attention to this change in the arc of our society has to be addressed. You have to be conscious of it. You have to be aware that this is what your kids are going through. You can't be so self-absorbed that you don't know what's going on with your kids. You really can't. Brooke?
Yo, this is what I want to say, man. In continuing with the original theme, you know what I mean? Yes, a mother can raise a son. Yes, a father can raise a daughter. In the midst of raising them, know when they're different. And embrace the differences. You know what I'm saying? When you raising a child of the opposite sex, you have to be their best friend if you're their sole provider. You know what I'm saying? Because what you think won't miss you will pass you. So, I would say yes, and you have to embrace that, and you have to steer your kids into positive role models that's of the same sex, and that's a tool for parents. Mm-hmm. So, we got to stay vigilant. Less technology, more family time. Mm-hmm. Less technology, more family time is what I'm gonna say.
Absolutely. I thank everybody for joining us tonight. We apologize about the phones. We're going to work on that for next week. But do continue this conversation with your kids. Do continue this conversation with your friends and with your family. I want to say what's up to all of the people who came through tonight. Howard, you my dude. Sadat, Musa, thank you for calling in. Pretoria, Tamara Edmonds. We had Barbara Tucker in here, Crystal Smith. There were a few others. For some reason, my stream will not go back up. But shout out to each and every one of you. I thank you for watching. Everybody out there on Ustream, we appreciate you. Keep tuning in and keep sharing the video. That's what we do. Share our videos. Look, you only got to keep it on for forever. You can go back and hide it in an hour. I really don't care.
Word up.
Share the video. If we have 200 people watching, we should have 200 shares. I don't understand why you can't share it if you watched it. So share the video. Please share the videos. Tonight we'll be at Club Elevation. The party is called Flow, and tonight is Renee Riley's birthday party. Tomorrow night, it is Humble Beginnings, $20, all you can everything. All you can eat, all you can drink, all you can dance, all you can chill, all you can everything. And next weekend, of course, it is going to be Baby Powder up at Club Elevation on Saturday with DJ Punch. My name is DVS Ahmad. I am here with Brooke Jerz. This is Speak for Yourself Fridays on Devious Fridays.
Just Joy Lachey.
That's right. Shout out to the Speak for Yourself team. Just Joy, we know that you are down and making moves. And Lachey, go ahead and get that paper, my brother. That's what it is. But
That's what we do, baby.
Are out of here.
Yawa.
Soul.
Soul.
Yes, sir. On the champagne in the champagne room, because I know that y'all be tuning in, so we thank you and big up to our producer Tanya Champagne. That's I can't
In the champagne
get over there to the
room.
phone. Usually I throw it over there and let y'all see it, but y'all know who she is now. That's the other mayor of North. Right there. She right here chilling with us. So y'all be safe this weekend. We'll see you here next Devious Friday.
One more time. wanna do. Don't want nothing from you. Giving me everything I need. No, I don't wanna tell me and say, oh, thank you. Thank you. All of my life, you've been there. One of my days, you make me smile. Hey, I just wanna thank you. My. All I wanna tell you, say, all I wanna do is thank you. That's all. All I wanna thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the love you share. Thank you for the guidance and all that you are. All I wanna do, say, thank you for being there. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being, just for being. Don't ever leave. Don't ever go. Thank you. Thank you for being everything you said you would be. I wanna thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, thank you. All I wanna say is thank you. All I wanna say is thank you. All I wanna do.
inside your soul. Oh, you leave me like wanting more.